everybody, it is Erin or Gimme Yarn 418, and guess what? This is the TGIF. Thank God it's finished. I haven't done one of these videos since July 21st, it looks like. So I have a lot of things to show you. But first I wanted to touch base about the video I posted on Wednesday, which was the Periscope video of my whips. Really got a 50-50 split on positive and negative feedback to that, so I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to continue with that. I may just do the whips on Periscope and the finished objects on YouTube, because a lot of people really didn't like it. Well, that's fine. It's not for everybody. I was just trying to share. What else? Oh, so what I'm going to do from now on is I will for sure most every Wednesday on Periscope do a Periscope of Whip It Out Wednesday. On Friday-ish of every week, or most every week, I'm going to try and do Thank God It's Finished with my finished objects here on YouTube. And on Sundays, I'm aiming for once a month to once every other week. I'm going to do the hashtag SGS, which is the Sunday goal session, on Periscope also. I like the interaction of Periscope, but I need to work on my camera quality because I've filmed it on my iPad and it was really pixelated, and I don't know if that was my iPad camera or Periscope or a combination of the two. So today I am in my studio. It's Friday. I am pretty frumpily dressed, but I'm comfortable. It's chilly, it's rainy. I'm tired. I didn't sleep well last night. I was up till 1 with Molly and then up early. I typically don't get up with the dogs in the morning. Kristen typically gets up with the dogs in the morning, but I got up with them this morning, which was only hard. I don't mind doing it at all, but it was only hard because I was up so late with Molly. I guess I'll touch a little bit about that next. On Monday, we had 2 puppy emergencies. Very mild emergencies in the grand scheme of things, but Dewey was hurting on Monday, so we took him to the vet because he had been hurting Saturday night, all day Sunday, and Monday. So we took him to the vet, and he was diagnosed with a back sprain, not sprain, like a strain on his back. And when they touched his back, they could pinpoint the location that was really bothering him. Pardon me. So they put him on some Rimadyl and a muscle relaxant. He was supposed to take that for 10 days. We opted out of the muscle relaxant after a few days, and he's still taking the Rimadyl. And he's doing much better. He bounced back in 24 to 36 hours. Well, no sooner did we get home and all settled in, and our crazy Monday was calming down, Molly started yelping out in pain. So called the vet, said, can we get an appointment? We couldn't get an appointment until 5:30 in the afternoon. I said, okay, we'll take that. That was at like 12:30. Well, as the day progressed, Molly got worse, and so I called back and I said, we're just bringing her now. You can triage her in when you have a chance. And Molly tested positive for anaplasmosis, which is a tick-borne blood disease. It's very similar in visible symptomology to Lyme disease. The joints get really achy and stiff. They treat that the same way they treat Lyme disease, which is with doxycycline for 28 days. 28 days for medication for a dog. Oh. I have to write it on the calendar and check it off every day to make sure that we give it to her. And she also was put on Rimadyl. Molly's pain was not subsiding. She was just yelping and so uncomfortable. So we ended up adding tramadol to that, and after 3.5 days, after 3 days, we scheduled after 2 days, 48 hours, we scheduled an x-ray for today. And then yesterday we upped her dose of tramadol, and she was like, her old self again. So we were able to cancel the x-ray just to make sure nothing else was going on. So she's getting back to normal. But now we have Max, who is a puppy and so full of energy and doesn't understand that he can't play with his brothers and sister. His brother and his sister. And then we have Molly and Dewey, who are feeling better and don't understand that they still need to stay calm. So Molly needs to go out on leash in the fenced-in area, so that is why I've been staying up so late, because otherwise she gets us up a million times a night because she loves the cool weather. So I was staying up for that because we can't just let her out for 10 minutes or so. We have to physically go out there with her, which means I have to get dressed, have to get a coat, have to get a hat, have to get shoes, have to get the leash, have to get the harness on her. It's a pain. But she's our baby and we love her, so. But they are both on the mend. They're doing great. And in the grand scheme of things, those two things being wrong are so small peanuts compared to things that have happened in the past. So, other thing about Dewey update is Monday he goes in for an x-ray. We're just trying to make sure that we don't get to the point we were in March. I think it was either March or April. I think it was March that he had his surgery because there was still snow on the ground. Because as time progresses, he will get more bladder stones. We're just trying to prevent them from traveling down into his manly bits like they did last time, because it's a much easier procedure, much less dangerous, much less costly procedure to just remove bladder stones than it is to go through what he did. When the stones travel down into his little manly bits. That's what I'll call them, I guess. So, that's life update. Kristen and I are doing really well. Kristen's work is really super duper busy. They lost a couple of people at the company, and they've just hired some new people, so she's been going through interviews and the workload has increased. But starting Sunday, she's on vacation for 2 weeks, and I'm so excited because she hasn't really had a vacation since Margaret was here last October. Yeah. So that's life. I'm kind of boring. Nothing much is happening with me. I had a mole taken off, another mole. Came back clean, which was fine, completely benign. The one that was on my derriere that came back not great last time has not returned, so clean bill of health for that. And other than that, pretty good. Yeah, so let's get into what I have finished in the last few months. I don't have everything, and I've just pulled out the bigger things to show you. A lot of things like socks we're already wearing because it's freezing. And some things I went and saw my niece, and I gave her something I made for her. So the first thing I finished, I don't know if I showed this to you before, is the wood stove season sweater. And I opted not to have buttonholes on it because I never ever close my sweaters. Like, I never button them up. And I'll show you the back because it has a really neat pattern on the back, and I hope you can see it. It's a pay-for pattern on Ravelry. I think I believe it's by Alicia Plummer. Nice pattern. I like the fit of it. It's cozy. It's exactly what I wanted. I can't wait to sit by the indoor and outdoor fires wrapped up in it. I already have a couple times because it's just cozy. It was knit out of Cascade Eco Plus. I think the colored ones are Plus, but don't quote me on that. It's just over 2 skeins of that. Just over 2 skeins of that. I did finish one other sweater for Kristen, and that is the Hero. I'll show you the back first. This is hers. This is knit out of Woolies, because Kristen can't have 100% wool sweaters, and she liked the last sweater I knit out of this. Hers, however, is a cardigan, and she wants a zipper. And fiber in my mouth. It's really long. So I went to try and get a zipper for it, and there was a 30-inch zipper, and it was just a little bit too short, and there was a 36-inch zipper, and it was just a little bit too long. So I had to order some specially cut zippers. I bought two 36-inch zippers cut to 32 inches and 34 inches because I'm not exactly sure which size I will need, but one of them will work, I'm sure. And let me tell you, having them specially cut the zipper makes it ridiculously expensive, but that's what you do for the people that you love. Next. I finished this pair of socks. I just finished blocking. It's a free pattern on Knitty. It's called Pear O Normal. And it's knit out of Regia 4 and Regia 4 color, I think. The exact colors are on my Ravelry page, and here they are. And you may think, wow, that's a lot of color work, but these are not color work socks. These are mosaic socks. And if you haven't tried mosaic knitting, try it. So super duper easy. One row is knit with the black, the other row is knit with this striping yarn, and it gets this awesome effect. And I love them. I'm not a skull person, but how perfect are these for Halloween? And the colored yarn here is the yarn I bought at the thrift store for $2.99 or $3.99. Super duper cheap, and the price tag on it was $18 something. So I love those. Had to block them though because they were a little bit tight, but they fit perfectly now. Next, I knit Terrence the Tap Dancing T-Rex. I knit this out of Bernat Super Value, and I think he is so stinking cute. He's adorable, and I love him, and he sits up on my bookshelf. But Terrence did not have tap shoes in the pattern. He just had feet. So I made him tap shoes complete with taps because I'm a tap dancer, and you can't tap dance without tap shoes. So there he is. He's a lot bigger than I was anticipating him being, but I don't think a lot of people knit him out of worsted weight yarn, so he's really cute, and he dances, not that you can see his feet. Doop. Next. I finished Umaro. Finished it in time to enter it in the fair, and I'm going to show you as much of it as I can. I knit this out of Bernat Softy Chunky. Isn't it gorgeous? Gorgeous. I love it. Love it. Leaving it up in my guest room for now. I may or may not be giving that to someone for Christmas, so I want to keep it dog hair free. Next, I knit a hitchhiker. Jen sent me some beautiful Knit Picks chroma fingering in the lake something colorway, I can't remember. So I decided I wanted to thank her, and I knit her a hitchhiker, but I put a little bit of an eyelet detail in there just to keep it more interesting, because the last hitchhiker I knit was so boring. Kept it interesting, and I like this one so much more than the one I knit before, so I'm going to be knitting another one for myself in the same color, because I actually did like it on me. So my other one was pink and brown, and I just hated it. I hated knitting it. I hated the way it looked on me. But I think she's going to like this. She's in Texas, so I thought the eyelets might be good because while it gets chilly there, I don't think it gets nearly as cold as it does here. I also knit some bakery bears for Cody Knits Podcast's Knit Along, and I knit Mrs. Bakery Bear. She does not have shoes. This is some TLC Essentials and Surf and Turf, and this is just some scraps. And I also knit Mr. Bakery Bear. These are going to be for my niece for her birthday. I knit Mr. Bakery Bear first, and I got all his pieces finished, and I said, oh, I bet I can squeak out a Mrs. Bakery Bear. Well, I knit Mrs. Bakery Bear's pieces, I knit her first leg, and I got to about here on the second leg, and I ran out of yarn. So I ripped her out, and I gave her different colored bottoms of her feet. So I thought those kind of looked like shoes. And that was enough, and I was done. And this is a really great pattern, but I did not enjoy it. it's like an amazingly written pattern, and I have no qualms with it. Just for some, I think it's because if I just had stuck with one and not jumped into two and had to rip out the leg, I might have enjoyed it more, but I had a lot of trouble with the clothing getting it to fit, and that's my fault because I didn't check my gauge. But all in all, I'm pretty pleased, and I think my niece will love them. And I love the way the yarn patterned. So, last but not least, I finished the owl in one. It's in a bag because I brought it to the fair. It hasn't come out yet. And here it is. Here's the hood. I should have put it on the mannequin. It would have been easier to see. There's the hood. I'm really happy with the face. And here's the belly. Isn't that adorable? And then on the back are the tail feathers. So there you go. And this, I don't have any plans to give this to anybody. It's going to stay on my 1-year-old mannequin because I just love it and I love looking at it and it makes me happy. I did tell my sister that if she and her husband had another baby, because it only comes in one size, that they could borrow it for photo shoots, and then I would probably take it back. Because it's cashmere. It's not the best yarn for babies, but it's lush. It's lush. Maybe I should rent it out. No, I'm just kidding. So what's up next for me? I want to knit some felted clogs. I want to knit a lot of socks. It's Socktober. So I have a lot of plans for that, but there's only a couple weeks left, and I mean, it's already, what, the 9th? I want to knit socks. There's this little Halloween pumpkin doll. Let me see. Oh, my phone's broken. I forgot. I cracked the screen. This little Halloween pumpkin doll. I think it's number 1 or number 2 in my queue if you want to see it. And I want to knit that, but I don't know if I'm going to run out of time. And then this free pattern from Cascade. It's called the Neon Ski Bonnet. I'm knitting that for my niece. My sister wanted an ear flap hat, and so I sent her a picture of this because I really like the hat for little kids, and she liked it, so I'm going to knit her that out of some Vanna's Choice because, you know, it has to be wash and wear. And that's all I have. I've mentioned numerous times I'm going to Rhinebeck, so I don't know if there'll be a video next Friday exactly, but there will be some videos coming up. And I think that's all I have for today. I hope you guys are all doing great. I appreciate all the likes and comments on this video. And please feel free to subscribe. I'd love to continue talking with you. And I will do my best to reply to comments. And one thing, I hope you all have a lovely weekend. It's supposed to stop raining here. And I will talk to you all very, very soon. All right, bye-bye.